Yeah, that was nuts. That was really bananas. It was really cool, and I have to say one of the most gratifying things for us is how they embraced the film, and where they were really touched emotionally, but also just really appreciated all the research we did and all the work we did in trying to make this feel like an authentic world, and they kept telling us that they really appreciated it.
They did seem very excited, and that meant a lot to us, considering the source material. And we ended up on a stage with the Prime Minister of Japan. The whole thing was a really big to-do, which was awesome. And when Don and I went off to animation school, we didn't imagine any of this.
No.
So this is pretty thrilling.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, that we share the title with the Marvel comic and the characters' names. But ultimately, we crafted a unique original story out of that source material, and we're so happy and proud of it.
And we're always pushing on the story and making improvements and questioning our assumptions and making the story better and better and better. So we know that whatever we start with at the beginning of the journey, we're going to have something else at the end. So it was good in a way that it was a lesser known property, so people wouldn't be bringing their own expectations to the film and have their own ideas of what it should be. We could make it the movie that we think it should be.
Well, it was really important right off the bat that was going to be our first mission, is like, what is the world that this movie inhabits? And we put a lot of work and a lot of research into it. And we picked San Francisco because it's such an iconic city, but then wanted to take the Japanese aesthetic that was so prevalent in the comic source material and apply that to San Francisco and just mash them up in ways. And we didn't know at the beginning of how it was going to look and what it was going to be, but our art team, led by Paul Felix and Scott Watanabe, just did an amazing job of designing the city, and it just gets commented on so often, and people keep saying they want the movie to slow down a little bit and stop so that they can kind of like just scan the backgrounds because they're so dense and detailed. And that's
they want to hit pause.
Yeah,
but they can't yet.
No, not yet. They will. They will.
Theaters.
Yeah.
I think it was always a very ambitious story, and that's been a big part of the journey of making the movies. We always knew it was going to be a lot of disparate elements coming together, obviously with the Disney and the Marvel and the Eastern and Western culture and aesthetic, and there's even more than one genre we take on. So you're absolutely right, it was a very ambitious story, and so much of our journey was to come up with a personality that could house all those things.
It was 3.5 years ago that I was on a research trip to Carnegie Mellon and found the concept of soft robotics, which I had never heard of, and that led to the creation of this character. And to me, it's kind of a once in a lifetime. To be able to build and design and fall in love with a character like this, and then have him sort of get almost bigger than the film. He's out there, and people are already, before the movie's even out, that people are starting to fall in love with this character. So it's unbelievably gratifying.
He really seems to have touched a nerve, and people really seem to have embraced Baymax, and I mean that means so much to us to make that kind of iconic, to be part of creating an iconic character like that, given that we grew up loving Disney movies. The earliest Disney movies inspired us and made us want to work for Disney, and that's the reason why we're here today. So it's unbelievable. It's a dream come true.